So good morning in the morning from beautiful the northern coast of Morocco. As you can see, I'm in this kind of a little fisher's village, and yeah, I had a beautiful night here in my apartment. And the backside behind me, you see some little trash burning going on here. Yeah, beautiful weather today. I had a good breakfast and I'm planning to get packing. My bike is there. She was left alone the whole night. Luckily, this guy kept an eye on her. I had to pay him, I think he said 5 dirham. I gave him a 20 and he seemed more than happy with that. So as long as nobody touches it and nothing happens, I'm all cool with that. I really gotta say, that is the bike. The culture here is super respectful. People, they are fascinated by the motorcycle. They are curious. Kids are taking pictures with them, but they were really respectful. They don't touch anything. So yeah, I have no concerns. I left some worthy items on the bike, especially tools. They are not inexpensive, but like I said, nobody touched them. I'm happy I put on an alarm, retrofitted that, so in the case, yeah, it could have been hell. It could warn me, but it wasn't the case. It was a quiet night while they have some construction going on. So I was woken up with that. Yeah, the goal is I follow the trail or I follow the roads towards the east, and I'll show you quickly what the plan for today is. So here you see the route for today. In purple, this is still what's left missing from yesterday that I did not cover, roughly 200 kilometers. And from then on, we see this little portion here, or that guy. This is the first Trans-Morocco trail, all the way to here. So the goal is to go there, and then go south off-road. I've also got the information of the trail here. It's a pretty cool, neat information they provided. So I know that the last fuel stop is going to be here. So I'll make sure to fill up before heading towards the trail. And here's a warning with a skull and bones. Yeah, I'll leave the mountain track, that's good, sure. And not suited for heavy trucks. Well, we don't fall under that category. So I think we're fine to follow this trail. I also have the information of the trail itself here, saying that it's roughly 50% off-road terrain, gravel, dirt, mountain tracks, with 1 or 2 steep rutted descents. These are okay. Off-road remoteness medium, and last fuel stop there. So let's see how this turns out. All right. Let's put some miles between us and this place. Again, the weather is pretty decent, 20 degrees. But I'm still super hot. It's super humid. I will need some fuel, so I think I'll fill up on that gas station right there. And then, as you can see on the navigation system, I hope you can, there's some really nice curvy tracks ahead of me. So I'm looking forward to that. And then hopefully I won't be too late to hit the trails today, because that's still the goal. So let's see if I can get some fuel here. Yes, I can. I'll fill her up. The fuel definitely smells synthetic and European. When I was in Azerbaijan or Georgia area, Caucasus area, the fuel usually had this scent of raw oil, like it's been coming fresh out of the ground. But here it's the refined synthetic stuff that we know. So I assume the fuel quality is also pretty decent. So I got my first gravel road. I didn't plan on having that so early. There are some constructions going on. But I think that was just a little dirt on the road. That's a good thing I have an off-road capable motorcycle. It looks a little foggy. I hope it stays dry. The last thing I want is rain on the trail. Now the weather forecast looked good for today. Maybe some showers tomorrow. Yeah, I'll have to see and check how the weather evolves. So this was the road that was closed, and now I'm on the main road again. Super comfortable, super nice to get some wind through the jacket. It is quite humid, and I'm wearing an airbag, which by default is not really breathable. So any kind of little air that's pushing through my upper body is really helping me to stay cool and not get too sweaty. Because ideally I don't want to wash my clothes every day, only if I really sweat in them. And that's what happened so this morning, that my socks and underwear from yesterday were still a little damp from washing them. Let's keep going. So it's been like, what was it, roughly 20 minutes, 15 minutes since the fuel stop, and I'm heading up this mountain, and as you can see, it's already super foggy. So in the clouds, the temperature dropped to 16.5 degrees Celsius, 4 degrees temperature drop. I'm feeling super comfortable. Hopefully that lets me dry out a little. Yeah, it doesn't look like rain up until now, so I'm happy with that. The view is a little bit worse than yesterday, so I can't see the sea today. I'm happy I did yesterday. Probably there, right ahead of me, would be the sea now. Wow, look at the fog. Oh boy, super foggy. So we just had to stop for a little roadside repair. The issue was that my brake lines were kind of pointing forward, which meant that they were here kind of rubbing on the fork and this fork protector. So I had to turn them a little to point outwards, especially during compression, that these are coming this way and not this way. Yeah, the background of it is I was experimenting with changing my brake calipers to some sportier ones, monoblock ones for my 2.0, but it turned out that the gap between the rim and the brakes were way too small, so I didn't want to risk that, so I went back to it, and I didn't quite remember how it was, and I realized that there was some rubbing on the brake line here. I mean, it's a steel brake line, so that's not an issue, but I still put on this little rubber coating, rubber protector, so the steel is protected. Yeah, it's always good to not compromise the integrity of the motorcycle, especially when going off-road. I'd rather do these things now. On the other side I did it as well. They're pointing more outwards as well. I mean, it wasn't an issue too much, but I saw contact, I saw rubbing, and the more kilometers you put on a bike like that in that condition, the more the troubles could arise. So I better wanted to be safe than sorry. Luckily I've got all the tools, all the equipment, so I can get going. Let's get to it. Entering another village. It definitely starts to look more rural in this area. You see half-finished houses. But it doesn't look too small. Like I saw a stadium or something in the distance over there. You see the Mercedes 240D, and there, the workhorse of Africa. A lot of Mercedes, a lot of, I think, former German cars. You often sometimes see a D sticker on them. They're rather cherished here in Morocco. At this time of the day, you see many kids. I think they go to school or on the way there. Up to or from the school, I don't know. Temperature-wise, still rather comfortable at 20.5 degrees Celsius. There's the school. And there's something that may or may not be completed at any point. Very nice to see how you see a lot of women and girls being totally part of society. Some wearing a head scarf, some don't. I feel like it's a rather liberal Muslim country. In many others, you won't see women during the day being part of everyday life. That's police. Awesome. I still got 130 kilometers left, and then I can start riding on the Trans-Morocco train. Really looking forward to that. Also, a nice thing to see is that fuel prices are basically the same everywhere. I haven't seen any discrepancy whatsoever between the fuel stations. See, there's that stadium I was talking about. And it's rather cheap. So in Europe, it's around the €2 area. If you do the conversion here, it's roughly 140, 130, something like that. So I can definitely not complain. This trip won't be too expensive when it comes to fuel. Also in general, housing. I mean, my flat yesterday, that was 50 francs, 55 euros, something like that. I'm super happy to pay something like that for that kind of accommodation. So let's keep on going. There is a little desert in northern Spain called Valdeas Reales. I've been there like 2 years ago, and the formations and everything you see here pretty reminds me of that. The semi-desert formations. Not really sand dunes, kind of like sandy, I don't know, I don't want to call them mountains, but some sand, dirt structures that are getting washed down with the rain. See the layers. Oh man, I'm so happy. So beautiful. The party has arrived. So, I hope you can see it on my navigation system. The waypoint is reached, and up ahead on this road, this is Trans-Morocco Trail. So let me just stop real quick and change my parameters on the navigation system, and then we're ready to go. So I finally arrived at the trail. Yeah, I'm a little unlucky that the
just started to rain a little bit, man. And as you just saw, the slip on my front tire. Yeah, I mean, I think conditions are still okay. I will deflate my tires a little bit now and turn off the ABS on the bike. I can do that now. Turn off traction control, or at least turn off ABS on the back. Yeah, it's kind of foggy. I really hope that it doesn't start pouring. The ground still looks okay, so I'm willing to tackle the trail in that way. Let's see, where are my valves? I need to roll a bit to the front. Also here. Yeah, and then the off-road adventure begins. See you soon. Alright then, let the adventure begin. Yeah, my first trail of this road. The whole purpose of this whole trip, right there in front of me. I deflated both tires to 1.7 bars. That's a little more focused on off-roading, but still an okay compromise if I were to go on a tarmac trail or a tarmac section. Yeah, I didn't want to go too crazy or to worry about that too much and inflate and deflate the tires all the time. So I think that is a good compromise. And let's see how the KTM behaves. Alright, all systems are set. I have the traction control off, ABS off in the back. And as anticipated beforehand, there's also not too much worries about the rain, because it was just a little fog, nothing else. So yeah, let's follow this trail for a bit then, shall we? A little washout. Man, I wish I could show you something, but as you can see, we can't see too much. It's super foggy. Also not easy for me to see ahead. So I'm taking it super slow. I bet the nature would look tremendous here, but with this fog, man, hardly anything I can do about it. I'm also really contemplating on changing my jacket to something more airy, the jersey, and I think I'll do that. So as you can see, I switched to my jersey. Here I am. It's still super foggy and super humid. I also changed, as you can see, to the anti-fog lenses on my goggles. And I never had them on, to be honest. So I'm curious to see if they help. Man, you probably saw it also on the camera lens how foggy it got. I didn't want to risk anything, for sure. So let's keep on going. Ah, yeah, much better. Also temperature-wise. Like, it's challenging enough off-roading a big bike. You don't want to be overheating. And now I got really nice airflow through my shirt. I should also change my airbag settings to enduro riding. Because it's still on street riding and I need to change that. So I'll do that shortly. First, let's capture a little bit of this trail as long as the lens does not plug off. Oh man, I started feeling one again with the KTM. It's been a while that I took her off-road. In Central Europe, unfortunately, there are not too many occasions where you can do that. But here it's just pristine conditions to do so. Now I thought at the beginning that the grip was a little low, but now it's okay. Maybe it was just the incline hill section beforehand. I'm really hoping the clouds are disappearing soon, because it would be nice to show you a little bit of the view of this area. And again, rather dry conditions, that's what I like. You see it a little bit when it gets rainy. You have those drains on the trail here to the left of me, and those wash away the road. And especially if it's like sandy areas. I had that mistake once, also in the Spanish desert, Baldenas Reales, where I was heading into it. It seemed dry, and then the rain picked up, and before I could see, I was stuck in the mud, and my front tire wouldn't move because my mud guard was still in a low position back then. That's why I changed to this high mounted mud guard. But yeah, I'm not planning to get into any of those conditions, but you never know on the trail. You never know what's ahead of you. So always keep it cautious. Maybe drift in a little bit. But other than that, be cautious. Rather take it slowly, rather take it secure. The best way is usually the safest way. There's another challenge that arises when you go into the outbacks like this. Is just imagine what emergency support would need to come in, or what obstacles they would need to face, and it's basically the same road that I'm following now, so you can make up your own mind to estimate how long help would need to come to get here. I mean, I've got a satellite phone on my GPS device, and that would trigger. If I trigger it, that would set an alarm to the Garmin response team, and they would organize someone to get to my position. But like I said, anybody coming here must take the same route as I do. Now it's the left here. Nice, but first a little view. And then I'll change my airbag setting, because that's what I forgot. See you soon. Alright. Yeah, just a few minutes in, and the weather is super nice. And kind of my rustiness is also gone, or it starts to go. I don't want to be too overconfident. But man, I'm feeling one with the bike again. That's for sure. Oh boy, look at this, oh my god, woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was hoping for. Man, look at it! Morocco, you're showing yourself from your beautiful side. So cool. So going down these sections, I usually try to keep it slow. First gear, keep the engine brake on, and then mostly with the rear brake, and then the front is your emergency. Or, I mean, I put a little brake pressure on both of them, but I mean the rear wheel can slip. But once the front wheel slips, there's no more braking power available. And the last thing you want to do is carrying too much momentum going downwards and having your front brake lock up, because then there's no more or way less braking power available. And going downhill means usually if you don't stop quick enough, you're gonna fall off somewhere. And that's what I want to avoid. That's super nice terrain as well. I mean, the KTM eats up stuff like this for breakfast, that's for sure. But nothing too challenging, I would say. So anybody feeling wanting to tackle Trans-Moroccan Trail, section 1 is pretty okay. So far, we haven't not yet reached the not suitable for heavy truck section. Let's see if not suitable for heavy trucks is suitable for heavy bikes. So I'm in the middle of not suitable for big trucks, heavy trucks territory. And man, I gotta tell you, it's nothing to be scared about so far. I wouldn't even say that it's not suitable for heavy trucks. Like, wasn't too steep so far, not too rocky. I mean, the situation may be different if it's wet or rain, or yeah. But no, I wouldn't even say that it's not suitable for a truck. I mean, as long as the width is okay. I think you could pass here easily. Nobody on the trail so far. And with that, the first section of the Trans off-road trail is done. Man, it was easy. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Really, amazing. So there's roughly 28 kilometers left of today's trek, which I think will lead me also again back to the small roads. The bike is super good. I'm super happy. Everything works super nice. I hope my camera view is now a little bit better, that I'm standing up and I'm looking over this navigation system here. I realized in the video so far that was kind of blocking the view. But yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. But there was no tricky or necessarily technical section in this so far. So now I'm gonna take a right here probably, yeah. And then we continue the trail. You fancy a little bit trail riding? Oi, my lord. I would love to have some trail riding. Would you like to have some drifting as well? Yeah, let's have some drifting. Woo! Ha ha ha. And the KTM is really, it's a mountain goat. I've been seen it many times, but at what it excels at are these gravel road highways, like this one. Yeah, that happens if I touch the rear brake a little bit too much and I stall the engine. So then you need to take the clutch rather quickly. Yeah, not risk anything. Think I should keep the drift small, but still the fun is high. I hope it stays a little dry for the next days. That will be awesome. Or if there's rain, it shall only be where I already was and not where I'm going to. So yeah, I completed today's section, which was coming in here, then coming south, then west again, and then south, all the way to here. And now it is, yeah, 10 to 6. So I don't want to be pushing it for today anymore. And I found myself a little spot over there, and I hope it's a nice place. So you know, it's a good hotel. It's on the top of the mountain, and the only access road is a gravel one. And I also saw a little cafe down there, and probably a place I can get my dinner, and then maybe I will edit some footage and try to see if I can upload vlog number 1, because that's still missing. There's a parking spot. I think I'll take the upper one. Because why not? They have nice stone. I don't want to scratch that nice stone here. So I'll park the bike just here. Alright, let's see.
Alright. Check out my little crib for tonight. Oh, look at this. That looks amazing. Yeah, I'm continuing this habit of luxury off-roading, what I would call it. Look at this giant bed. I've got a middle table dining area. I got a TV. I got a couch. There's also a pool outside that I can show you. But yeah, I won't be bathing in that one. And the most important thing is why I booked the suite was because of this guy here. Look at this bathroom. I'll swing my ass right in there after I took off all these clothes. And the host here, so a nice lady, she'll be cooking for me something. I'm really looking forward to that at 8 o'clock. So yeah, I'll get changed and put my butt into that bathtub and then call it a day. Man, it was beautiful today. Nothing wrong I can say. The trail was amazingly nice. The landscapes are brilliant. Maybe I can put a little nicer background while I'm saying my monologue here. Oh, now we're talking. So yeah, like I said, it was a beautiful day. The trail was amazingly nice. It was really okay. As you can see, it's kind of windy and kind of dark clouds in the sky. I really hope that not too much rain is coming down on the trails for tomorrow. But for today, everything went super well. I hit all my goals. I managed to come to the Trans-Morocco Trail. I did the first section. All went pretty nice. The gear was holding up tremendously. The bike is amazing. There she is, my little sweetheart. There she is. And yeah, that's the scenery. And with that, good evening, and see you tomorrow. So I'm in this guest house, basically, as you can see behind me with the kitchen. Yeah, I just stumbled across this place. It was at the end of section 1 of the Trans-Morocco Trail. And man, I just asked her, like, hey, would it be possible to get some food, or could I order some food from you, or would it be possible to eat here? And she just prepared this beautiful meal for me, like with chicken and potatoes, peas, carrots. Unbelievably good. I'm the only guest here. It's a pretty nice villa. I just had a bath in my nice bathtub. Man, it's, you know, this is what I love about these journeys, that you never know where you end up, and you usually end up in places that are so unique and authentic, and then, like, who would have thought that I would be in a kitchen like this and get a beautiful meal prepared by the owner lady. I'm super happy. Yeah, feels like a home away from home. I can definitely recommend this place. And yeah, I will enjoy my meal. Besides breakfast, this is the only thing I ate today. Usually when I'm doing these trips, I don't manage to eat too much because of the pace of the day. So yeah, I'll have a long session ahead of me with this lovely meal, this lovely bread, and an evening all by myself in a really big house.